My best friend. Oh, never mind.
Hello, and welcome to the Data Revenue. Today we're going to be talking about the race training video from this episode. Since it was your idea, CSA, you take it away.
All right, so I'm sure many of you probably follow YouTubers or on Twitter, and you probably heard about this. Basically, there was a bunch of leaked documents about Disney and their racial training and whatnot, and like equity kind of stuff that had been leaked. And I don't have the actual documents because I don't follow the person on Twitter, but I've seen enough YouTubers who do follow the person who showed all the documents, and it's total horseshit. Like,
it's fucking disgusting is what it is.
It really is, because they basically have it where if somebody of color, that's all they say, and 9 times out of 10 they just talk about a black person, but they say if somebody of color says an opinion about race in any way, shape, or form, you can't talk to them about it, like try and contradict them or have a conversation, because you could be oppressing them. So you can't say anything. So they could basically, you could have this, we'll say black person or Indian person, okay, just fill in the blank. And they could say something along the lines of, white people have been oppressing us for all too long. We need to just go on a mass murdering spree and murder all white people, regardless if they're good or bad. And you can't say anything back to them because they're of color. And there's a whole list of other shit that they're doing. Like, you should be able to freely talk about whatever you want. If you've been raped, if this or that. I'm sorry.
Like, you shouldn't. There's certain things that you should not be talking about in work, because it's not a personal space. It's fucking work. It's not your therapy group.
This on the job has been a crock of shit since they first started trying to introduce it.
Mm-hmm.
It's work. You came here to fucking work, not to fucking socialize, jackass.
Well, I'll tell you why they're getting so nervous about this recently, and why they've actually put out press releases denying this is official policy. And you want to know why that they're denying that it's official policy?
Because it's fucking racist and illegal?
Yes, because so the Civil Rights Act. Let me go look at the code, but the thing is, like, it's illegal to discriminate against somebody on the basis of the 6 categories, right?
Yeah.
And that includes your race, national origin, your race, your national origin, your sex, your these days your sexual orientation,
identity, your religion.
Yeah, and your religion. And so the thing is that here we have Disney, which is putting out training materials which explicitly disclaim, which are explicitly encouraging racial discrimination.
Also, did anybody else notice something very flawed in the wording of one of the pieces of the document? Because I was actually looking at it while they were posting it. No, the thing where they were saying there was like this long history of systemic racism and transphobia. And I'm sitting there going, how do you cite decades upon decades of transphobia when that has not even been a fucking thing that exists for that fucking long?
Mark, the reason why they're saying a long history is because back in the 1930s, there was a German dude who died. Then you have all these Native American cultures with two spheres, who they think means you have 2 genders in one.
That is not goddamn trans, and that's not fucking transphobia. And excuse me using the G word, I didn't really intend to. But no, that's bullshit. That's not trans anything. That's an entirely different thing. You believe in it, fine. I happen to believe it's a thing, in some cultures, but it's not what they're talking about, and it's not the definition of what they're trying to instate.
Yeah.
It's just dumb as shit. And also, they can't cite the whole thing with naturally occurring because, I'm sorry, motherfucker, that's a hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite and trans are not the same fucking thing.
Well, it's more than that. It's that I mean, true hermaphrodites don't exist in humans.
No,
you can have,
they do.
sexual.
Technically, they're not functional, but they do exist.
But, well, no, because you have the actual determination is whether you're producing sperm or ovum.
Okay,
and you can have
you
genetic.
realize I'm talking about the physical aspects, right? Not the functionality.
But I mean, like at the genetic level, or at the biological level, there's a the actual determination of whether somebody's male or female. That's determined by whether their body is producing sperm or ovum.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
have
have various disorders with your genitalia and so on.
Yeah, well, and those are what is classified among humans as a hermaphrodite. When you unfortunately have both sets of organs, but one set doesn't work.
But I mean, you can determine what somebody's actual. If somebody's suffers from that disorder, you can determine what their actual sex is by determining which one.
Yeah, by what they produce. Absolutely. But that's not an approach most people
wait until they start growing up, and you can actually look at their characteristics and say, this child is growing up with more features of a female, acting like a female, talking like a female, and eggs are starting to form. This is a female.
Before we get off on an immediate tangent, it's more them trying to manipulate this, regardless of origin, into something it's not.
And also, by the way, this entire discussion here is premised on equivocation, right? It's classic equivocation because you have people who are completely, but they have no genetic disorders. None. There's none. They're just saying, I'm going to change my gender as a social act.
Yeah,
using as a justification for this people who have rare genetic disorders.
Yeah, and
it's pure equivocation.
Yeah, what pisses me off, especially with the SJW community, is a trend that's popped up in the last few years. Is everyone has PTSD and some sort of mental illness. Pick mental illness of the week, and they have it. The more you have, the more.
Excuse me for just a second.
Okay.
That's fucking bullshit, and go fuck yourselves. Every goddamn last one of you. I use that word again, but at this point, I don't fucking care. Fuck these guys, all right? You don't know what the fuck PTSD is, and if you've been abused, been fucking in combat, or been in some serious shit where you live or whatever. These motherfuckers talk about PTSD, and the biggest thing they have is their landlord doesn't want to let them fucking go scot-free on rent for a month, or somebody misgendered them, or some other bullshit. It's not mental illness, and it's not fucking PTSD. You're just a whiny bitch.
And it's also worth noting, like, who are the people who are advancing these claims? They're generally very middle or upper class, educated, often quite well educated people who come from very comfortable backgrounds.
They're whiny bitches who've never had to do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, many of these people are very privileged, actually. They're often extraordinarily
privileged. They are the epitome of their alleged white privilege, but they never take it upon themselves to do anything.
But the thing that I have noticed with them is that the people who are like, I'm so oppressed, I am an oppressor, blah, 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 whatever buzzword they want to use, that they are usually people who are earning 5, 6, maybe even 7-figure sums, their parents. And they're children of billionaires. They're children of millionaires, presidents, royalty, shit like this.
Well, here's the thing, dude. The majority of these motherfuckers are in these positions because it was given to them. They did nothing to contribute to their situation. So they sit on their ass the whole fucking lives, sucking up money like a crack whore, and they do nothing.
And
the thing is, like, many of the people making these claims are actually very privileged. But, I would appreciate it if they didn't ascribe their privilege to their race.
Exactly.
Rock Solid, he has helped me to build this. So just for you, 33 and a third. I hate you now.
If you keep feeding the trolls, they're going to keep coming back.
Yeah, I know, right?
He isn't a troll. No, he isn't a troll. That did actually help me build the channel. He's a good guy.
No, I'm just saying he's trolling you about your accent.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
So if we go ahead and sort of get this discussion back on track towards
Disney, so there is
sorry. So what I was saying earlier was, so again, and the reason why Disney had to come out and say, "Oh, these materials do not reflect company policy," is because they're literally violations of the Civil Rights Act, right? Like in the 1964, ended Jim Crow Civil Rights Act, Title VII. Like if your policy is we're going to deny people promotions on the basis of their race, which is essentially which you could quite easily interpret their materials as promoting. You are going to have a ton of bricks fall on you because you're going to get sued by a lot of people.
You're also forgetting the Disney policy where they started putting out around Star Wars. This is where I noticed it when The Force Awakens came out. When J.J. Abrams said, "I'm not hiring white men as heroes," in his movies, and then all the white men were like viewed as pieces of crap. And in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I've heard many people talking about. One guy, Ramblin' Canuck, he watched it and he said that there was this one scene where the Falcon and the Winter Soldier were arguing with each other, just arguing, and they were in a black neighborhood, and the police pulled up and went to arrest Sam because he's black and arguing with a white guy. No other reason than just that.
Yeah, no, I saw that scene actually.
In a predominantly black neighborhood. Fuck off.
Like, do these people like get out any?
No,
they
don't.
No, remember
don't touch a piece of grass.
Tumblr and Twitter.
Yeah, and the thing about this whole Disney thing is that they're saying it's not mandatory; it is voluntary, but it's heavily.
Oh, it's going to be.
It's heavily encouraged.
It's going to be coerced and pressured to the point that it's absolutely unbearable for the average employee to deal with.
The woman in charge of the web series, which is failing, by the way, of the High Republic. It's a blatant. I made a video about this. Go and check it out. But she is a blatant racist against white people, and she has stated it. But
it's all over damn Twitter.
Yeah, but yet they fired Gina Carano.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about this is that Disney is, and I told my dad about this one thing. You know, they're trying to cancel the Snow White ride.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
Okay. So here's why. Because the prince did not get the consent of Snow White to kiss
Wake her up.
That's Sleeping Beauty, guys.
Or was it Sleeping Beauty?
No, it's Snow White.
No, that is.
No, that's Sleeping Beauty.
Or was
it in Snow White when she's unconscious and she's dead? Prince walks up, gives her a kiss. She comes back to like that. Yeah. I want to do that all day, SJW.
How many fucking times have they reused that fucking shtick in their damn movies?
A lot. But that's the whole point. Is I told my dad this and he didn't know that. I told him. I said, here's the problem. Say Disney has 10 million visitors a year. Say only 10,000 of them actually believe this whole consent, all this SJW, grandstanding bullshit. You're catering to the 10,000 versus the nearly 10 million. Okay, which one do you think is going to spend more money? The people who look at Snow White and say, "Oh, that's a Disney classic. It's so beautiful." Those people are spending their money at your fucking parks, not the 10,000 who'll go there and probably mooch off of others.
I have seen go ahead.
I was just saying, the reason you see, the thing is that after you sort of been in the business of criticizing these people for a while, or criticizing people for a while, you social justice warriors can think up a conspiracy theory for anything that will make it somehow racist or sexist or creepy.
They do. They absolutely do. There's these SJWs are out there, and they're saying that they identify as being disabled. And there's this English one, and she rides around in an electric wheelchair and a mobility scooter. And then in the video that she was doing, I saw it mentioned somewhere else. She was standing up and dancing in the wheelchair, but she identifies as disabled.
Fuck right the hell off.
Yeah, but do you know what the thing is? Is that going with the whole canceling Snow White, all this stuff, I feel like in a way, it's a way to cancel a lot of what has developed in culture. I'm lot of classical stuff.
CSA in that regard, it's not even a cultural thing. That's them wanting to cancel everything that came before in Disney so they can wipe all that away and just push the propagandist bullshit.
Absolutely.
Because then you're not distracted by the stuff that came before anymore because it's all gone.
And for some weird reason, they turn around and they cancel every single person with red hair, any character, and replace them with a black person. But if someone does a movie, if Disney makes a movie where Ryan Reynolds plays Barack Obama, it'll be hell.
Yeah. AW, I think you were going to say something?
Yeah, although I lost my train of thought pretty good.
You're good, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I also like the. No, I mean, also speaking of the ginger side, if you want to play the oppression Olympics, the Irish have been oppressed pretty damn well throughout history, as I'm sure you can tell us much about.
Like I said in one of our earlier streams, slaves were taken care of here. Slaves had value, at least monetarily, and they had more value than that to some people. The Irish came here as indentured servants, and nobody gave a fuck what happened.
The Irish were actually listed as non-whites. My ancestor, when he went to America, he had to say that he was an expat or an expat, some weird term that isn't used anymore. But pretty much, he's from the Prussian Empire. He had to put on a fake accent and speak his father's language. Because he couldn't buy it if he was Irish.
Well, and something that a lot of people don't know is that the first slaves that England brought over to the New World were Irish. They weren't, because blacks were like for the highest of wealthy people, because they were so rare that Irish were the first slaves in the New World for a while before.
Unfortunately, back in the day, how do I put this? Especially back in the day, it became a thing where the Irish were considered so fucking expendable that they would rather just take them out there and throw them out on a project until they die and then discard them somewhere because they had no value to these assholes.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So I was going to say, well, all the really messed up stuff like the British Empire did in India over the years, centuries, all the multiple famines they had some kind of hand in. Okay, all that stuff happened in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Same people.
Yeah, me and Prisms, Mountains of Elysium, he is from Cork. We could actually, if I bring him on Mountains, I'll have to bring you on the anniversary. But we could sit down and we could tell you, he's from Cork. He's from the Rebel County. He has some stories from down his area. I've got some stories from of my area, and me and Farv have spoken about this in the Discord, where basically Ireland wiped out its nobles in one night, pretty much. And what we did to the Earl of Sligo is you cannot say on stream.
Yeah, I bet, and this goes back to the whole thing with Disney pandering to SJWs in the Twitter mob, who I guarantee you have probably only been to Disney once, went there the entire time and bitched about everything. And this is somebody, by the way, who was a fucking Disney pass holder for 15 years, who loved Disney, sweat Disney for many years, loved what Disney used to be. And by the way, my dad, he sent me an email like 2 or 3 nights ago. He finally saw the article that talked about all this. He's like, me and Disney are divorced forever now. He's like, any hope I ever had of going back to Disney has been destroyed. I said, Dad, start going to Universal. Support Universal.
Yeah.
Universal might not be perfect, but going back to the whole thing that shall not be named that happened last year, Universal handled it way better with their customers than Disney did. Because I follow their employees, but I follow several theme park channels, and they're like, Universal's handling this really well. They were maxing out their parks. I mean, it was only 50% capacity at the time. They were maxing out their parks while Disney couldn't even get up to 10%.
Yeah, but
I mean, that's a policy choice they made. Well, we're going to over comply with public health orders.
Okay.
But
then again, Universal, honest to God, seems to be watching Disney and going, let's not do what they're doing.
You know what? One of the biggest problems with Disney is that it's run by political pundits, executives, and shareholders who have no concept of anything going on mechanically in the company, and they don't give a shit because they make money regardless. They don't think far enough ahead to realize that the more the shit they do, the more money the company actually loses.
Me and a friend of mine at Christmas, we were watching the new Beauty and the Beast. And we were sitting down, and my friend turned around, and we were there, and we paused it, and we're like, hold the fuck on a minute. Jordan Friend, before the French, it's meant to be medieval times in the new Beauty and the Beast, right? And we're like, hold on, one, there were no black people there. Two,
oh god, yeah.
Yeah, who the hell would have that many black people there? Where the fuck did they come from, and why are there so many nobles?
And isn't it supposed to be taking place in France anyway?
Yes.
In the Middle Ages.
Yeah, fuck off. Fuck right off.
Yeah, and that's... Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, the Hamilton view of history, guess what? That shtick was cute for one.
It wasn't at
cute
all.
for one play, but you don't want to make that a practice.
Mm-hmm.
They do. They're the sixth... what is it? It's 1692 project that they're trying to do, which is basically... 1619 project, which basically they're trying to blackwash history and like every white person is evil.
Well, no, so the 1619 project is what they're trying to do is basically say that whites are bad, blacks are good, and that America actually started in 1619 once black people were brought from Africa as slaves. That's when America truly started. It wasn't at 1776.
By the way, go fuck yourself yet again, you fucking historical revisionist pieces of shit.
Well, also, by the way, the New York Times 1619 project, which is a collection of essays written by journalists who know very little about history, has been criticized by every historian who's looked at it. In many cases, completely debunked. The fact that it continues to be influential is indicative only of the fact that the people who are adopting it, the people who are pushing it, and the people who are adopting it, it's preaching
delusional.
Right?
America used to be like La Francais, like basically second France. Before that, it was you had New Amsterdam. It belonged to the Dutch. Then it belonged to the Spanish. So please tell me, which of these four empires did start America? Because if you're picking 1619, then you have to go all the way back to 1492.
Yeah. And this is this thing is that when I see a person, I don't judge them based on their color. I don't care what color your skin is. I judge you, as Martin Luther King put it, I judge you by your character, not by the color of your skin. I've worked with black people that were the hardest working people on the face of the earth, and white guys just sitting around. I was surprised they weren't trying to jerk off in public, kind of thing, you know. And it's like, why in the world are you perpetuating racism that is such a tiny actual problem in our society, but yet you're trying to make it seem like it's the worst it's ever been in the nation of the country? By doing that, you sow division, and Disney is taking the magical touch. I mean, remember, they're the place that's known for the magical experience. You take away the specialty and magic that Disney offers when you do this bullshit. That's what you do. You are taking the fun away, and you're showing your true colors. And I'm going to tell you, the average person ain't going to want that shit. They ain't going to want it, because then they're going to have to explain it to their children too, by the way.
I mean, now it's worth mentioning we're talking about an internal document here, not a...
Yeah.
However, however, the thing is that I guess I call it a pseudo policy such as this. Because this isn't Disney's real corporate policy, because if it was Disney's real corporate policy, they get sued.
The fact of the matter is they should be getting called out in official capacity just for circulating this fucking document.
But the thing is that this is all going to be done, is that this is their corporate dogma, I guess I'd call it. And the thing is that what they're making is going to be downstream of this. So which means that this sort of attitude, this very problematic attitude reflected in these documents, is going to be reflected in what they're making going forward.
Yeah,
because that's what the employees are hearing day in and day out.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is, and it's sad to say that Disney has strayed so far away from what Walt Disney's vision was and what he wanted the Disney Corporation to be.
You know when that happened, CSA?
It happened in the 80s or 90s?
It happened the moment that his children sold Walt Disney Company to a news media organization.
Wasn't that I think it was like ABC, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because Disney owns ABC.
The minute they got bought by a mainstream media news corp is the moment everything went right to fucking hell and fast forward.
Yep. And That's the thing. Is that I mean, love or hate Disney, they are a powerhouse. Or I should say, used to be a powerhouse.
They're only a powerhouse right now because they own so much.
They honestly
At this point, they are such a monopoly.
Well, the problem is they're slowly getting
ridiculous.
dismantled.
You can't even find whatever else.
But they're slowly getting dismantled both by external forces and their own ineptitude at managing their assets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the YouTuber Drunk 3PO put it. You know, everyone's like, well, just, don't go to Disney. He's like, the problem is I go to Universal. There's Avengers. There's Avengers, not Avengers. There's Marvel stuff at Universal. You go to Lego Park. There's Star Wars stuff. So you can't even go to certain theme parks without going into Disney properties. So you could say, don't go to Disney. Well, then you have to swear off anything Marvel, anything Disney, anything, what else do they own? Anything Pixar.
Hulu.
Fox.
Well, you know what?
Anything Fox.
You don't have to cold turkey everything to hurt a fucking corporation.
No, I'm not saying you do, but I'm just saying if someone said don't watch or buy anything Disney, it's like they have so many fingers in everything.
Well, but I mean, whenever people try to block off Nestle.
It's like you can hurt a corporation just by minimizing,
minimizing trying to talk.
What?
Yeah, but I mean, look at because actually we've seen the results of public blowback and I would say limited boycotts of both Disney and Coca-Cola have had significant effects.
Yeah.
First of all, because Coca-Cola decided they wanted to go be Woca-Cola recently, and their sales dropped like 20%.
You know that lawyer left the company, by the way?
Sorry?
Did he?
The lawyer that incited that bullshit left the company suddenly.
So, guys...
because this is what happens when people cost a company billions of dollars. They get fired.
Talking about Coca-Cola, I was doing some shopping today, and when I was there, they have this big Coca-Cola display, and the cans are usually $5.99, $6.99, depending on... and for these new cans, they're usually higher up. But no, they were $1.99 for a set of 4 cans.
Yeah,
doesn't
probably because people are.
And nobody was buying them. Nobody was buying them. They had like big, huge stacks of these like Diet Coke, Cherry, everything like that. All these popular brands, and no one was touching them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because again, if companies want to virtue signal about how we want to be a company that lives our values, well, guess what? Your values should be something that aren't. Your values should be something that isn't deeply racist and divisive. Put it that way.
Yeah.
And it goes without saying, embracing critical race theory, which is premised directly on racism.
Yeah.
Well, it's more than just bullshit, Revan. It's premised directly on racism.
Oh,
and Prism brings up a good point, which I've mentioned before. The people they're pandering to aren't even their main demographic in visitation. Therefore, Disney's essentially putting a hole in their own boat.
Yeah. I do want to rock solid productions. I agree with you to an extent. However, here's the problem. If your kids go to any public school, going down to elementary level, they're trying to push the critical race theory and the 1619 project in schools.
Well, not in every school. It depends on what the school.
That's mostly I hate to say it, but that's mostly in what I would call blue states. And your average liberal city.
Right, I know, but what I'm saying in general is that in schools they're teaching this, so the parents are having to, and I've read so many stories and seen so many videos on this, the parents are having to essentially deprogram some of the stuff their children are learning because they're learning it in schools.
We have a friend...
Sorry. The solution to that, CSA, is not a... The solution to that CSA is make sure the school board is representative of the community.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I've seen too many stories where often, places which are quite conservative, the school board somehow ends up being run by hardcore liberals. And that, how you fix that? Everybody turns out for the school board election, those people go away.
If that's plausible to happen, depending on where you live, that may not be possible.
Yeah,
I might have to. Now the thing is, you might be legitimately not a number. You might have to move, but People move to get their kids into a correct school all the time.
In the case of what Rock Solid Productions said, we're going to homeschool and or get the fuck out of Illinois. Yeah, get the fuck out of Illinois.
Yeah.
Because that shit is bad. That's one of the places we're talking.
We have a friend.
It depends, because... Sorry. Go ahead, Robin.
Go ahead.
I was just saying it depends, because, like, Illinois outside of Chicago is a red state. It's just Chicago is this giant Democratic enclave.
And that's true, but the problem is that Illinois has such a fucking death grip on every policy in the state because of the power base in fucking Chicago. So Chicago dictates so much in that state.
But it doesn't necessarily dictate what your school's teaching.
Yeah. But guys, we have a friend who I'm not going to say their name or their gender, but our friend is trying hard to deprogram their children from the stuff that they're being taught.
Yeah, it's happening. And this is and Rock Solid, I'm going to just give you mad props for wanting to homeschool. I was homeschooled. I got a lot of shit for it. But I'm going to tell you right now, I was 3 grades ahead in history. I the values of my parents carried on. Now, I ain't saying the values of all parents are good, but at least you have more control over what your children learn. And homeschooling's not easy. I'm just gonna it's not easy. But if you want to send your children off once they hit adulthood with good knowledge and good values, it's the best way to go. If you can do the sacrifice, do it, because that's how the public schools will get fucked over. Kids keep getting pulled out. You're going to have less and less things, and they're going to be like, okay, fuck, we have less schools now. We're going to get less funding. We're going to get less this. We're going to get less that.
Well, I also think that one of the main problems with schools is they're like, oh, let's fund school A, but we'll defund school B, and everyone wants to get to school A, so school B is getting defunded, and all the kids in school B are coming out fucking asswipes. And then all the kids in school A are coming out SJWs because nobody's on an equal education footing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Disney is feeding a small mob with all this bullshit.
And wasting a lot of fucking money doing it because they're not getting the returns.
Well,
they are
absolutely.
Well, and also I was about to go back to Disney itself recently.
Yeah.
Just you know how Gina Carano got fired a little while ago?
Yeah.
Right? And you know how everybody's pissed about it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, what happened when everybody canceled their Disney Plus subscriptions? Now, granted, this wasn't everybody, but this was, probably this was something they noticed.
Yeah.
It was a decent drop.
They put on the Gina Carano episode that she did with Bear Grylls, but they also refused to put her name on it.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was more than that. There's talk she's getting rehired. They submitted.
Now, I will not believe that until I see it officiated.
Same thing.
I think it may be a publicity stunt.
I haven't seen it officially, but let me just put it this way. It's reacting, right?
It is.
They are reacting to a decision that was made, by the way, at the highest levels of Disney that their consumers did not like. And they're starting to walk that back.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
They don't know.
Sadly,
they know it.
Me and a few people that I know have gone to the point where a big YouTuber who's known for inside sources, good guy, I've spoken to him in voice chats, we all have. He's a very good guy, but the problem with Doomcock is that I don't trust him anymore. And
I just feel like he may be getting fed bad information sometimes.
Yeah, or doesn't let the information his sources tell him play out a little, so that way you like test the waters, kind of.
And to be fair, that's not even really his fault because I see a lot of people spreading the same information.
I will agree with that.
So I think in some cases it's deliberate misinformation. There you go, right there.
What you're saying is Disney's a very sophisticated company. They know how to run ops. And they can very easily create a source to feed that information to Doomcock.
They can. And the sad fact is that he buys it.
Yeah.
Which is why we've unfortunately run into this gaffe a couple of times where we get stories about the Kathleen Kennedy firing, and a year later she's still there.
Yeah.
Many years later.
I've heard the Geeks and Gamers crew. They've all said almost in unison, until we get an actual statement from Disney that she has been fired, or she has quit, we are not going to believe
it. In practical terms, until I see the pink slip, I don't fucking believe a word of it.
I don't blame you.
Well, also the thing I remember here is that there's multiple factions within Disney, right? And the people who are starting all these rumors that KK is going to get fired, they're probably they may be they may just be part of the anti-KK faction who are just sending out trial balloons over it, right? And
yeah,
because this happens all the time. Is somebody will plant a story and see as a trial balloon. So starting a persistent rumor that somebody's going to be fired, that's something you can do to influence them actually being fired.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Cause and effect.
Yeah, basically, you spread enough rumors around about it, Disney would be forced to react if the rumors get enough traction and enough viewage, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you start a rumor, hey, someone's going to get fired, and the fandom rejoices, even if that person wasn't good standing ahead of time, guess what?
They're now in bad standing.
I'm more.
When the brass hears about that, they're going to start thinking like, people would really like it if we got rid of this person, and would that help our bottom line?
But guys, we're also forgetting at the base of it, Disney is a business. And when Disney gets stabbed in the wallet, that hurts Disney because
the biggest problem with Disney right now is they seem to keep forgetting they're a business.
I know. But what I've noticed, especially over here, they're putting out all stuff like they're putting out like all these Baby Yodas. Baby Yoda is popular. Then they're putting out like the Stormtroopers. They're putting out the ARC Troopers. They're putting out stuff from the Clone Wars, stuff from the prequels, stuff from the OG movies, and they're remaking KOTOR. But you never hear anything from the sequels.
Because nobody wants them.
I mean, go back to the stream we did about the fucking May the 4th poster.
Yeah.
You know, go back to the stream with that. I mean, that says a lot there that was an official Disney poster. And nothing sequel trilogy was on there.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, money talks and bullshit walks. And Disney, by this point, I'm sure has a very good idea of what sells in Star Wars and what doesn't. And particularly, I saw somebody on Twitter recently saying like the High Republic books have been doing well. They said they've been printing a lot of copies. Well, here's the thing. I'll tell you exactly how this happens because I do have a little bit of experience in book selling. Okay, Disney has contracts with bookstores to buy their books to make the big High Republic display, right?
Yeah.
You don't know what's happening?
Nobody's buying the books. The stores are buying the books, and the customers aren't. It's exactly what's been happening with comic shops with Marvel.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. They're selling these books to retailers, and you know what the retailers are doing? They're keeping them on the shelf for however long they're contractually obligated to, and then they're throwing them into a dumpster out back.
Yeah, because all they're doing is gathering
and then soon enough
dust.
you'll find them at a bargain bin.
Yep.
Yeah. That's where we found
and still just collecting dust at that point.
Yeah.
I saw a book guy, and he was talking, and he said that the worst place you don't want to find yourself as a book is at the bottom run of the rack on the outside of the store. Because that stuff is where you're like, it's not going to sell. I'll sell it for a nickel. And I'm pretty sure that's where they're going to find themselves pretty soon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Disney can hype themselves up all they want. They can do all this, stereotyping. They can do all this quote unquote diversity shit and whatnot. But at the end of the day, Disney, I believe, has lost a lot more power than people want to say. Because
Disney has no power.
No, they still have power, but they've lost a lot of it because the High Republic isn't selling, and there was a lot of hype for that. Star Wars didn't do well in general.
It also doesn't help the look they're getting when Kennedy has a bitch fit because the High Republic isn't selling.
Mm-hmm.
But what?
Actually, this is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Robin. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Actually, this is interesting because I'm looking at the Amazon page for the first High Republic book.
Okay.
And so, I know a little bit about what a Amazon page looks like for a healthy book.
Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. Let me
close those porn tabs.
Oh, come on.
It's not fucking Pornhub. Okay, I don't have anything weird up. Let me share my screen here.
Yeah, no, it's just his OnlyFans.
Sometimes you just like check your stuff.
No, you got to give him a little bit more credit. His Patreon. His 18 plus Patreon.
Yes, and he also has that 18 plus Snapchat.
Oh no, not the Snapchat.
Oh boy.
Hey, foot pics are hot items.
So I'll tell you what looks wrong here. Okay, first of all, selling a Kindle book for $15, you're going to get approximately 5 sales out of that. I don't care if you're Disney. Nobody's going to buy a Kindle book at $15. You got your $18, 1817 hardcover, which is telling me that's been marked down from something. I'm not sure what it was originally selling it, but this is a markdown. You got
there's a collectible at $99.
Yeah, which is, I don't know who the hell that's signed by, but like, so hardcover books cost a lot to print, right? Like they're not making a lot of money on this. This tells me there's being a markdown.
Yeah.
And then your paperback, that these prices aren't reflective of anything. This is just, is this already out of print in paperback? Like what's going on with a $48 price for a paperback High Republic book? This book came out last year. Like, what's going on?
I mean, paperbacks is supposed to be pretty
nobody's
cheap.
buying this shit.
Yeah,
and then you have the audiobook for free.
They're trying to sell it as a collectible with a free trial. But that paperback.
Hold on, guys. Go ahead.
They're trying to sell it as a collectible at this point because no one wants the damn thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
so they're hoping by labeling it collectible, they'll draw somebody in.
Yeah,
but like, to give you a comparison with a small self-published book.
Yes, brought to you by your very own Armchair Warlord, who this is available in all Amazons.
All Amazons.
Okay, this is what a normal listing for a novel looks like. Right? Like there's no weird, there's no resellers at deeply discounted rates except for the old hardcover edition where there's some discounts on that. Like this is a fairly normal looking page. It's got normal round prices. It's being sold actively. There's no weird discounts being applied.
Yeah.
No random coupon available for something.
Now, if any of you do want it, in the rewatch of this, there will be a description in the link below, and you could go to the Discord and contact Armchair Warlord herself, and he will give you an autographed copy.
Yep, I have a number of them. I'd be happy to send you one.
Yep.
Let's see.
And with Armchair's book, y'all, I would highly encourage you to support him. He's already working on a sequel. And here's the reason why I say support him. Obviously, a friend of his, we do, streams, gaming, all that stuff. But he's an independent creator. And I believe with a lot of novels, independent creators is what's going to save fantasy, sci-fi, a lot of that stuff. They're going to be the ones to rise out of the ashes.
So help if I can ever get mine finished, I'm going to need all the fucking help I can get. Getting that.
You'll get it.
Farv, you've seen what I've done for your YouTube channel. What we'll do for your book is get people to learn how to read first, and then they can buy it.
Oh my god! Ouch! Fatality.
As far as I know, Farv's books is literally written in runic scratches and paw prints because he is a werewolf.
Oh boy, it is not. It's written in fine practical English, jackass.
No,
from what we've seen so far, it's been
right. In plain English, this one for Vidya, he is a sufferer of lycanthropy. But you were saying,
anyways.
And actually, let's look at some more of their titles that are available. So also, bear in mind, you're not going to build a franchise off of. You're not going to build a major multimedia franchise off of releasing occasional novels. I mean, I guess you can, but like, they're putting cause and effect first, right? They're reversing cause and effect. Like Harry Potter happened because the Harry Potter books went viral. Disney can't just push novels and then bootstrap that into making more Star Wars stuff that's popular.
Disney is trying to play the YouTube algorithm in real life with just putting out content.
Yeah, so let's take a look here. So this is the second book. By the way, they've only released 2 of these so far. They're serious about creating a franchise. They'd release them a little bit quicker.
Poor Kevin Scott.
So, and look at this. This one already has a discount on it.
And it's not even out yet.
Yeah, it's a pre-order.
How the fuck do you discount a pre-order?
I don't know.
I would just like to let you know that you could pre-order Armchair's book for like 99% of the price. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. We have a.
What was that one Star Wars book that y'all heard? What was it? It was they pulled it off of Amazon because it was outselling the High Republic. I can't remember the name of it. Fuck.
Oh shit!
You know which one I'm talking about, though?
I think so. But I can't.
Ryan Cannell, who another YouTuber, he has like shit tons of collections of Star Wars novels, and he's been covering this. That they pulled another book, Star Wars book, because it was outselling the High Republic by leaps and bounds, and they pulled it off of Amazon.
Oh, guys, do you remember I was telling you earlier on that they had changed the covers for adults? This is one of the covers.
That's the most boring fucking cover art I've ever seen.
Oh no, they have another one where it's a black cover with an embossed house logo. Now I don't know that they still do those, but they done that a while ago.
But the normal book cover was
pretty. Yeah, I know. But they
first of all, it was eye catching.
Yeah, that is boring as fuck. That
yeah,
cover.
the one just the previous one. I'm not gonna lie, if it didn't say Harry Potter, I would have thought it was like Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings.
I would have thought it was just a journal that someone was gonna write into.
Yeah, no, but
they have enough of those with those exact kinds of artwork.
They do, but they also done it because they were like, adults are nervous and adults are reading our books and they don't want to be reading a children's book on the train.
Adults don't want to grow the fuck up.
I'll say, maybe get a fucking whatever. The way people do market research in this shit is the dumbest fucking shit I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, Phoenix. That was. I'm pretty sure that was it. Yeah, Star Wars: Heart of the Jedi.
That's what it was.
I think that is it. Yes.
Yes.
Which from those few that I've seen that have read it, they're like, this is a great Star Wars book, and it's a newer book. I think. I don't think it's like an old book. I think it's a newer book. So, but kind of bringing this back to the whole in general Disney thing. Because we've been going for like 47 minutes. I don't know when you want to start wrapping this up. But
we'll start wrapping up in like 5 minutes.
Okay. So Disney has a huge problem with standing on the SJW narrative, but they're not thinking like businessmen. They're not thinking like creators. They are thinking as a political party or as political political supporters, essentially. And the problem is you can't run a business successfully with that model, no matter what you do. If you're thinking about canceling classic stuff like Snow White because the prince didn't get the consent of Snow White to kiss her, even though that's the whole fucking point of the story.
You know what's a simpler way to lay that out?
Shoot. Hey, go for it.
You can't let activists run a fucking business.
That probably that sums up everything I just said.
There's a reason these people work for nonprofits.
Yeah.
So actually, let's take a look at some more of these High Republic books here. I'm sure you guys have seen me bring this up. So this one is a new High Republic book. It was released in February, and you know what I'm noticing here?
What?
The price dropped down severely.
People are trying to move it at half of MSRP. This was released 3 months ago. It's got 13 used copies for half price. MSRP is $18 on this.
Man, yeah, and that's probably still a good quality one too. That probably has barely been. It probably was like poked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it was probably just unloaded from the box or something.
There you go.
Yeah, probably.
He was good. He was very good. He was good. He was like, they're never opened. These are booksellers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, look at the names of the people who are selling them. OEC USA, Good Books, Super Book Deals.
Yeah.
Like, these are booksellers.
Yeah.
And you're also seeing where it's good or like new
Mm-hmm.
and very good. Like none of them saying like poor or
or used or anything else like that.
Sticky or
besides used or like just like
stains.
fair.
Yeah.
It's like fair, poor.
These have barely been touched
moderate.
if they've been touched at all.
I mean,
Exactly.
Disney got so bad that during the watch before our stream, we literally all paused Star Wars Episode 9 to stare at Daisy Ridley because we noticed her nipple.
That was on YouTube. I didn't even notice till Sammy
But that was
pointed
the
it
most
out.
entertaining part of that movie. all we heard was...
I'm sorry that I'm important enough to where I can notice a nipple. Come on.
I'm sitting there and Max is like, oh my God. And I'm like, what?
It's like you can see their nipple.
And then everyone's like, stop, go back. Oh, it could. And then we were there, it's like, yeah, nice ass. And we weren't paying attention to the movie. And then at one point we were like, rotate the ship. This is how we are as lifelong Star Wars fans. Like, we should be there, like, cheering and going, yeah. And but we're like, rotate the ship. Rotate the ship. Rotate the ship.
Just dump all of them into the ocean to their imminent death. Just do it.
Yeah, I mean, Disney is going to suffer because this has gotten a lot of traction on. It's got a lot of traction on social media. It's gotten a lot of traction on like YouTube. And when the Gina Carano episode came out, there's a Gina. It was a tweet about Gina that was in the trending. It was like in the top 3 or 5 trending on Twitter. Yeah. So, I mean, like Drunk 3PO, who I mentioned before, he goes to Disney a lot for Park Hoppin', which is one of the channels he runs. And he's like, somebody asked him, "Hey, do you see a lot of Gina Carano shirts?" He's like, "Everywhere."
Guys,
like Gina Carano is probably more popular than the actual Mandalorian character or Baby Yoda at this point.
Hold on, I'm going
to
close my other tabs and then I'm going to share a screen.
Okay.
Don't be an idiot.
What tabs
I'm sorry
are
to
you
interrupt
closing?
you. I'm sorry to interrupt you here.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I just looked up Timothy Zahn's Star Wars novels here.
Oh God!
Let's take a look at what the mass market. So a mass market paperback's your little pocket paperback.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what those are selling for on Amazon. $7.99, $1 off. $7.49, $2 off.
The Thrawn trilogy is still fucking popular, even now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like these are not being. These are really not being discounted. They're just Amazon is just doing like an advertising discount.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
so,
like these are.
I'm going to share my screen.
They're keeping their value because they are doing so well.
Yeah, Armchair, I'm going to keep your share screen, but I'm just going to minimize it for a second because I'm going to share
it's fine.
mine.
I'll stop sharing my screen. I'm done here.
Okay. This just popped up. Window. Where is this? Hold on.
Wow, that was special. The fuck is this?
Disney Star Wars. The countdown to Pride is on, and they're very colorful. But the thing is, look behind them. They're in Galaxy's Edge. It's fucking empty.
Yeah. Well, okay, there could be 2 reasons for that. One, the place is a derelict, which it absolutely is. Barely anybody goes there. But it's also just as likely they cleared that away specifically for that shoot.
Actually, it showed for these next few weekends, according to the park maps, that they were closing it for a short amount of time and keeping open Magic Kingdom, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
I
that would
present
explain
to you on the Trans-Saving Kiss review, we're proud to unveil an exclusive highlight.
Fucking really.
Trans non-binary Jedi currently featured in the Marvel's High Republic. This is fucking published by Marvel.
That's fucking stupid, and it's exactly what Marvel does nowadays. So this should not surprise anybody that knows anything about modern fucking Marvel comics.
Not to notice.
Because Marvel can't even sell a story without throwing a bunch of fucking bullshit bigoted labels in front of a character's description. He's not a Jedi, he's a trans Jedi, guys. Never mind his accomplishments as a fucking, warrior defender. No, he's trans. That's the fucking important part. Fuck off.
Do any of you want to take bets on how many copies this sells?
No. Fuck no.
I bet this boosts about 10,000 copies.
I've done enough gambling in my life to know I'm not taking those fucking odds.
I'm not going to bet on it because let's just be honest. There's no wager that you could offer me to make that bet.
Yeah, right.
There's not. The only thing I would say is like a date with Gina Carano, like an actual legitimate date.
So good luck.
No, she's not. She's not married. It's her and her boyfriend have been together for like 15, 20 years.
I thought she was married. They've
I
been
thought
together
so too.
so long.
Actually, up until 2019, she was dating Henry Cavill, which is made super Anna, that Star Wars girl, so very, very jealous. But guys, we have 5 minutes left. Common sense. We'll go common sense. Armchair. Armchair, you've got 2 plugs, bud, and then Farv, you plug yourself. Okay, so CSA, kick it off, bud.
All right, so Common Sense America here. Member of Common Man Cast. I'm going to start doing my own shtick again. Hopefully, I'm going to get a live stream going this week. Depends how I'm feeling at this point, but I'm going to hopefully get a live stream going up this week. And so check it out and everything. I don't know who's next.
Barb, buddy, you're next.
Wow, that's a hell of a weird order you got there. All right.
I know, right?
Clockwise.
I got a channel called Farvithian Guard. It's been labeled by some people as a retro channel, which is not entirely accurate. There's a lot of retro games on there. There's some more modern stuff on there. Like I got an entire Torchlight series ongoing at the moment. Torchlight 2, excuse me. I might fuck around with 3. I don't know yet. It's more a matter of me looking at games that interest me and actually getting them running on my computer. So it's kind of a matter of time and effort. But there's all kinds of stuff on there. It's all streams right now because I don't have the means to edit, and my brother's got to get his shit together where he can actually edit videos before I start putting processed videos on the channel. So that's going to be a little bit yet.
Armchair, buddy. You want to plug yourself and then your channel with Katana?
So I'm a novelist. I published 1 book so far. It's called The Maiden's War. I'm looking to publish my 2nd book, Valkyrie Night.
Can you give me 1 second? ACSA, bud. Your tears rocking is really coming in.
Oh. Okay.
No worries. So, what you're saying, Armchair?
Yeah, so I published 1 book already called The Maiden's War. You can look it up on Amazon. I showed it earlier on stream. It's quite reasonably priced. So if you want to support me financially, buy my book.
All the links of that are going to be in the description below after the stream.
And I'm looking at publishing a sequel to that book. It's going to be called Valkyrie Night, and I want to get it out for Christmas next year. So I'm a full-time law student, and so it's I don't have that much time to write, but it is coming along nicely. I started chapter 30 just a couple of days ago.
As a side note, by the way, I would like, in between doing my channel shit and dealing with bills and marriage and all the shit I'm dealing with, I am working on a book, guys. I'm hoping to have some kind of progress with the publishing by January or December if I can get the shit done at the rate I'm trying to.
Hey, Farv,
what's that?
We'll hold a special stream for it, man.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. These guys will let you know, but that's still something I'm working on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm working on that. Also, as far as social media presence, my channel is pretty much dead right now. I may start putting some stuff on it at some point. Mostly very dry errata for my book that's interesting, which I'm never going to write up in fictional format. But I do stream semi-regularly with another member of the Common Man Cast, Katala Laris. So look up her look up her YouTube, Katala Laris, and we do Guild Wars streams pretty frequently, and occasionally we also have Farv and CSA and Revan and a number of other people on.
Yeah.
So, because I also play a lot of Guild Wars 2 online.
Yeah, it's a gay old time.
Calm down.
Well, that's a choice of words.
Yeah, so.
Hey, I bet.
Yes, I mean, really, that's. I guess that's that for my plug. You've all seen that book. Go check it out. It's had very good reviews, actually, extremely good reviews. It's had 30 Amazon reviews, 4.5-star rating. Which, by the way, there's a lot of like heavily published and pushed novels that have less of a history than that. So
Yeah.
The reviews I've gotten on are pretty much uniformly excellent.
Maxis, do you have anything to plug? Or do you want to tell anyone of anything coming up or anything?
No.
Okay. So,
Why do you ask every time?
just because you could easily say the Jackbox streams.
I could, but I'm not going to because you already did.
Fine. I'll have to plug my own channel then, like a peasant.
Exactly.
So, guys, every Sunday we will be doing a Jackbox stream, and since I recently hit 100, I will be having my second 100th celebration on Sunday. I'm hoping to feature Bionic Belly Button to be on that stream, but everyone just come check out the stream. Every Sunday we stream Jackboxes now, which those streams seem to be doing very well. But everybody who showed up, yeah, it is a very fun game, especially if you're drunk.
That was one time.
Oh no, that wasn't just you, Alexis. That wasn't just you.
Revan, let me joke.
Yeah.
Bang.
Yeah, well, apparently my joke filter has been broken. So, guys, I would like to thank every single person for showing up, and for those who didn't, I hate you.
Rude.
I know, right? So please hit that like, hit that subscribe, click my bell, and thank you everybody for showing up. And next week we'll have another topic during the week. So if you want a topic that we should talk about, there's a Discord link that'll be in the description. Just shoot us an idea.
Shoot us some racks.
Yeah, because we all need content ideas. So
Yes.
yeah, we all need love. So anyway, peace out and